do this again. Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your host with the most, Young Hendrix. Unfortunately, we do not have enough money in the budget to pay Mr. Shiesty for this show, but you know, I'm always here as always. MWE action. We got a stack card on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We always have a stack card because we're one of the best damn universes on Twitch. MWE Heartless action here tonight, just a few weeks away from the big show, MWE's All Out War. I can't wait to show you guys what we have in store for that big show. Hopefully it should be taking place over the weekend. I will preface this, I'm feeling a little bit ill. My energy is not going to be the highest it normally is, but we're going to push through. We're going to prevail to put on a hell of a card for you guys here tonight. Featuring on that card, last week we saw Tiago and Jerry Brooks, the team of Northern Lights. Jerry Brooks got the one-up on Amari Reigns, but now it is Tiago's turn against Teddy Hendrix. Ladies and gentlemen, we got that deciding match to figure out what type of advantage goes into the tag team match. Following that, Antidote, Willy, winner of this, moves on to face Carter Banks to become the #1 contender for Kobe Kevin's Twitch Championship. Following that, ladies and gentlemen, Angela Sky, Zoey, Carly Winters needs a new challenger come All Out War. We're going to figure out just the implications that match Angela Sky and Zoey have. Following that, Nathan Cassidy picking up a massive win in his debut with that front flip DDT. He has a nice little promo package for us to deliver here tonight. And then, ladies and gentlemen, tag team titles on the line. Diamond Heist set to take on Texas Heat. As we saw at the PLE Survival, Texas Heat beat the team of Gupta and Tony Garcia, the Diamond Heist. Now they get the opportunity of a fair rematch without Phantom Punishers, which we still got to get a lot of understanding of that whole situation under control. And then, ladies and gentlemen, our main event of the night, David Wolf is issuing a Canadian Championship Open Challenge. So who will step up to the plate and accept his challenge? We will find out. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get to that, we have our first opening match. We got Tiago Calvera versus Teddy Hendrix to decide who gets the advantage going into their tag team match. So my voice is good, the game is good. I forgot a team in there? What team did I forget? Tiago Calvera, along with his tag partner Jerry Brooks, set to make their entrance first. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a tag team match, but once again, in this tag team division, the passion runs hard. They are always with each other for the support. As you see right there on the left side, Jerry Brooks, who won his match last week against Amari Reigns. Now Tiago Calvera off to the right side, man with the more shaved head, looking to go toe-to-toe with Teddy Hendrix here tonight. We get to see who gets the advantage going into this much anticipated tag team match. I mean, implications could be huge. We could have a deciding factor of which one of these two teams becomes the new #1 contender for MWE tag team titles. We still got a tag team title match here tonight. A lot on the line for this tag team division as it grows week by week. Hopefully everybody is doing well. It is your host with the most, Young Hendrix, solo on commentary, but that ain't no problem. It never is.
Yeah.
Mob making their entrance. Join in with MWE Women's United States Champion. Unfortunately, she did not have the title with her here tonight. But that man right there in the very front, Teddy Hendrix, set to go one-on-one with Tiago Calvera here tonight. Mari Reigns to his right, and Kayla May, the Women's United States Champion, right in the middle. The Mob Tag Team action. But here tonight, we got a one-on-one match.
Okay, cool, let's stay whole camp. Big shit, Papa, we the ones that get your shirt down. Niggas try to take a nigga spot and that's too cramped. Up 8 a.m., geeking hard, I'm a real vamp. These niggas got me fucked up, dog, I'm too
Teddy clearly showing the confidence. Has an impressive record one-on-one. Not many people have pinned this man. Can Tiago Calveira become a part of elite company here tonight?
We ain't even out in Turks, she finna take sands. Riding around with F and then we like to hold hands. Over 2 sips, die, he ain't need a bed. Then I did the planet tech in a cold red. If I tell this bitch to pull her, she gon' moped it. My doggy don't smoke on shit unless it's unleaded. I don't back and forth over on that, so just gon' did it. See me when you see me, if it's smoke, doggy, unleash it.
Ladies and gentlemen, hop into our first matchup of the night. Tiago Calveira set to go one-on-one with Teddy Hendricks. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a match to decide who gets the advantage going into a proper tag team match between the baby blue team of Northern Lights and the team of the Mob with that dark blue. Teddy Hendricks, we know him as the best pure striker in MWE, but Tiago Calveira is one hell of a striker himself. He likes to believe that he has exactly what it takes to go toe-to-toe with Teddy Hendricks here tonight, and he has a chance to prove that what he believes is true. But right now, Teddy's just dominating the early action. Look at this, right to the, oh my days, another one. And a third time. This is what makes Teddy so deadly. But I'm curious to see what type of haymakers, what type of bombs, what type of arsenal Tiago Calveira has within those left and right hands himself. But right now, Teddy Hendricks, my God. Hold on now, look at this. Tiago able to push the man off. Now stomp to the back of the head. Go for an early pitfall. What the hell is this? Jerry Brooks just exposed that left side turnbuckle. Toe-to-toe, middle of the ring here. Headlock. Trying to create some type of advantage, but look at that. Pushing him off. Going for a big kick, but no, Teddy moving out the way. And now, look at this. Massive German suplex. Could that be it early? No. Only a 1 count. Oh! Massive. Oh, what the hell is this? Come on. Why does this have to be a deciding factor in this match? Right now, Teddy bringing the fist one after another. And ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this previously. Massive knee strike right to the bridge of the nose, and now Teddy. This is where he gets dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. This is where this man just takes it into another gear, and he separates himself from the rest of the pack here in MWE. What's he looking to do here, though? Back up to his feet now. Off the ropes. Look at this. Another high knee strike. Talking some smack as well. Clubbing forearm. Tiago Calveira is just struggling to get any type of momentum. Jerry Brooks. What the hell is that? Why is he throwing a kendo stick in the ring? Referee trying to make something out of this one. And look at this, off the ropes, massive big boot. But look at this, finally, finding an opening. Tiago Calvera with a step-up enziguri. And now, massive dropkick to the side of the head. Tiago looking to finally build some momentum. But look at this. After all the shenanigans Jerry Brooks called, Kayla May has decided to call out the Northern Lights BS. And just like that, it creates a perfect opportunity for Teddy to get back into it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining us, this is the first matchup of the night, trying to decide who is getting the advantage come their tag team match. Look at this, driving him to the corner. Teddy is dominating the majority of the match, but Tiago just doesn't seem to stay down. Look at this, drop kick of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, now showing off the strength. Look at this running power slam. Tiago trying to create an opportunity, but just nothing working out right now. Rare submission hold from Teddy. Fighting him off. Squaring up, off the ropes. Look at that massive boot to the jaw. But Teddy once again, and ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this before. Look at this, massive Teddy bomb, middle of the ring. Could that be it? 2, not enough. Almost gets the job done, but just clearly wasn't enough. Teddy, what's he got to do? Off the ropes. Look at this running knee strike. No, Tiago able to get out of the way. And now massive knee to the midsection. This is the opportunity that Tiago's needed. And now causing a bit of a distraction. Off the springboard. Oh my God. Oh, and I think he hit him right in the groin when the ref wasn't looking. What the hell? And now going up to the top. Look at this. Right to the throat. Could that be it for Teddy? Not enough. Both men now reeling. Teddy gave it to Tiago early in the beginning of the match, but now Tiago looking to create an opportunity for himself. Could that be it? Could that be it? 2, not enough. God damn. What's it gonna take to put either of these men down? Off the ropes again, Teddy looking exhausted. Drop down up top. And ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the interruption for a mild second, but Tiago now looking to put an end to this. 2, not enough. Massive, and then for a second time, could that be it? 2, 3, and just like that, what an upset. Taking his head off not once but twice. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a 2-0 in the individual singles matches. Northern Lights. Tiago with the upset. Just like that, they'll have the advantage going into their tag team match against the Mob. What a way to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. The action must continue. We got Angela Sky versus Zoey Smith here up next. Ladies and gentlemen, implications to decide who faces Carly Winters at MWE's All Out War, our first massive PLE of the year. This match could go a long way for either woman. Last week, we saw Zoey Smith take down Tatiana Sinclair in her debut. But now, against somebody like Angela Sky, a truly grizzled veteran. Ladies and gentlemen, she started 0-5 in her career here in MWE, went on a hell of a run, got close to a women's championship, but just wasn't able to pull out the victory. Now she finds herself with a new opportunity to get back into that title picture and possibly win the big one. But for Zoey, this is to prove that everything she's ever worked for matters more than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, massive implications towards our women's championship scene up next. Zoey Smith set to make her entrance first. Last week we saw she was able to take down the debuting Tatiana Sinclair, and now gaining much needed momentum in what could possibly be the biggest match of her career against a real veteran like Angela Sky. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing well. If you're just joining us, second matchup of the night, Zoey Smith looking to gain some much needed momentum towards her title chase. But she has to go toe-to-toe with a real veteran here in MWE. Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Sky, the dangerous woman, is in the building. Second matchup of the night. Title implications are big for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to decide who can move on to a future number one contenders match. Will it be the grizzled veteran Angela Sky, or could it be the new up-and-coming Zoey Smith, who has seemed to gain traction week after week?
But she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment. Couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start shit. I'm more of the trips to Florida. Order the hors d'oeuvres. Views of the water straight from a page of your favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Angela Sky set to go toe-to-toe with Zoey Smith here tonight. Second matchup. Oh, MWE's Heartless. Angela Sky was looking for a massive boot, but deciding to tie up with Zoey Smith. But this is the experience. This is what it comes with battling somebody who has the amount of experience that Angela Sky does in her professional wrestling background. But look at this now. Zoey able to create an opportunity for herself, change the swing of momentum. And look at this, applying it again. Really working the veteran here tonight. Both women with a lot to prove. Angela Sky already has an extremely well-rated resume, but Zoey Smith looking to prove that the future is now. And look at this, another one welcoming the tie-up again. From behind, Zoey Smith creating the opportunity for herself. Will it pay off? Angela Sky, she's starting to get frantic. Look at this, roll up on the veteran. No, not enough, but look at this, Angela Sky now, able to turn the tides. Two, the strength of Zoey Smith into the, oh my days, not enough. Both women now, finally, created some offense, arm drag. And Zoey looking confident as ever. Oh my days, blow for blow. Rolling around, but oh my! Running into a massive big boot from Zoey Smith. That couldn't have felt nice. And now, up against the ropes. Not ethical, but it's legal, goddammit. And look at this. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Zoey Smith, look at it this early. What a maneuver. And she's not done. She's not done. Look at her put away Angela Sky quickly. into the corner. Oh my God! And ladies and gentlemen, what an upset this would be! Right to the back. Go for the pinfall. Could that be it for Angela Sky? No, not enough. Beautiful. And now, off the springboard, Angela Sky came out early, stunned the world, brought all types of offense, and went to her finishing sequences so early. But it wasn't enough. Angela Sky now looking to see the severity of this match, busted out an Olympic slam. Wait a minute, she's not going for the pinfall though. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the strength! Oh my God, up to her, up to the fireman's carry, and a go to sleep! Could that be it for Zoey Smith? 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a quick one, but it was a damn good one. Zoey Smith came out early and proved that she could hang with Angela Sky. Gave her an absolute beating in the beginning of that match, but Angela Sky able to prevail and catch her slipping when Zoey was most confident. Ladies and gentlemen, she will be moving on to a future #1 contenders match after that display. And ladies and gentlemen, we keep the show going. Up next, we've seen these two debut recently. Antidote, one of a fan favorites, set to go one-on-one with Willy. Now, Willy had his struggles here in MWE, had to go toe-to-toe with a real gatekeeper, a true veteran of the business, somebody who doesn't take kindly to newcomers here in MWE. But nevertheless, Willy, not afraid of the challenge, willing to do everything he can to prove he belongs here in MWE, looking to pick up his first dub here in MWE against Antidote, who's been making waves, caught 2 dubs back-to-back. Ladies and gentlemen, trying to do everything he can to keep that momentum going. We got Antidote versus Willy up next. Excited to see who accepts David Wolf's open challenge. I mean, curious to see who it is. It's gotta be somebody big. Championship Online. David Wolf picked up a massive win against Ty Nasty, proving everybody wrong. Right here tonight. What the hell is this? Willy! He's grown in a little bit of a... He's got a beard now. He's got some longer hair. That man has a mustache! What the hell is this? Who is this man? Willy gaining some new confidence. He grown up, I guess so. He went through war with Humongous and was able to take what he learned, and the experience is paying off. The age is showing. I'm kind of excited for this now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always excited, but I wasn't expecting this. This wasn't supposed to happen. I always love Panic at the Disco. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the youngest superstar in MWE, 18 years old, Antidote, is in the building, standing there at 5'6", 189 pounds. Looking to make waves here in MWE, one of the fastest rising superstars we've had. A true ethical high flyer, ladies and gentlemen. Antidote is in the building. Hyping himself up, ready for one-on-one action. Antidote looking to go toe-to-toe with Willy here tonight. And what happened to his beard and mustache? Where did long hair go? Did he have on a disguise the whole time? Ladies and gentlemen, this man Willy is so goddamn silly. And look at this! Antidote overpowering the 6'4" man! Backing him up into the corner. Look at this! Using his athleticism to his advantage, tossing him across the ring. Go for early pinfall. Could that be it for Willy? This man came out with a fake mustache, a fake beard. Oh, miscalculation from Antidote. And some hair extensions just to fool us into believing that this man has grown up. And no, he was just playing a little facade, a little joke on us. And now, look at this. Blow after blow into the corner. Choking away the life out of an 18-year-old. That's not cool. Willy working on the hand. Oh my days. You step on somebody's elbow from behind like that well enough, you're just able to break their damn elbow. Break their damn arm. And now, Willy repeating knee strikes. Look at this. Working the arm still. Left arm this time. And now, blow for blow, strike for strike. Looking him dead in the eyes, talking some ish. And now, look at that. Massive clothesline to the back. And what the hell is this? Antidote trying to escape to the outside, but I don't think he realizes. Willy's right behind him, playing some type of mind games. But ladies and gentlemen, that creates an opening. That creates an opening for Antidote. Massive drop kick. Up against the ropes. Looking to create some offense himself. Oh my days, all the way to the outside. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Massive Hurricane Rana through the ropes. Antidote. A real, true, ethical high flyer. Massive blow to the chest. Oh, too much momentum, running too quick into Antidote, but it works out for Willy. Look at that. Oh. Oh. Plants the small man down. Elbows to the midsection. Massive spinning back fist, but gets caught. Willy. Look at this. Oh my days, shades of Nathan Cassidy. Working the leg. And again, methodical pacing from Willy. Working both arms, now turning to the leg, going back to the midsection. Both men looking for something too big, but look at this. Creates an opportunity. Roll up. Could this be it for Willy? No, not enough. From behind. What can we see here? Off the ropes. Went for a massive chop. Didn't connect though. Now, massive clothesline does. Oh. Stomping away. Look at this. Repeated blows. And now, continuously talking some ish. This is the type of cockiness that Humongous wanted to make a point of. This is the type of stuff that he doesn't believe belonged here in MWE. Nathan Cassidy shares a lot of that same over-exaggerated confidence, but Willy, oh my days, wasn't able to figure it out against Humongous, but here tonight against Antidote, looking good as ever. And now, up to no good. What can we see here? Into the corner. Stomping a mud hole into him. Now look, oh my God, second time. And now, this is methodical. Coming for the big boot right to the jaw. trying to get to the outside, create an opportunity, but Willy, our live French announce team on the outside. Oh my days, Antidote. She's getting manhandled. The size advantage for Willy is seeming to be just a little bit too much right now. And look at this, the strength sit-out powerbomb on the outside. Back into the ring, Willy. Is he looking to put this one to end? Going for a pinfall. Could this be it for Antidote? 1, 2. Not enough. Antidote has a little bit left in the tank, but how much? In today's economy, gas ain't cheap. Oh my days. Massive chop, put him right back on his ass. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Willy likes to call this a faith breaker. Going for the pinfall. Could this be it for Antidote? 2, 3. And just like that, Willy has picked up his first win here in MWE. And it looks like he's getting a well reception after his antics in the early goings. Methodical pacing, playing a joke on everybody. But just like that, it pulls out a dub, and Antidote just wasn't able to get to his high-flying structure early enough. Right now, I would say my top 5 are Emma, Ty Nasty, and Linda Blackheart, and the Godfather MWE, Big Leroy Johnson. Hey, those guys put on. I will tell you straight up, we do rate our matches, and I will say Carter Banks and Big Leroy Johnson, they got a well-received rating. At the end of the year, we will be nominating our matches for Match of the Year, and we'll have a nice little like Moment of the Year, Match of the Year, feud, rivalry, OMG moment. We'll go through the whole 9. But ladies and gentlemen, after one hell of a display from Willy after that, we got a much needed promo from Nathan Cassidy. Made his debut recently, took down the likes of Jalen Hill, who also made his debut. But now Nathan wants to address the MWE universe here right now.
As for who I am, my name is Black Death Nathan Cassidy. I am from Sydney, Australia. I was trained by the late, great Miss Sawa. My goal in MWE, become the MWE champion, but we got to start small, so let's say I got my eyes on that Canadian championship. MWE, beware. Black Death has arrived for your soul.
And ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Cassidy made it known that he is here to come after that MWE championship, but he wants to make things right. He doesn't want to just start at the highest of the high. He wants to build himself up here in MWE. Could he be the one accepting David Wolf's Canadian Championship Open Challenge? I mean, we're going to have to find out. But up next, we got tag team action. Tag titles are on the line. Diamond Heist set to go 2-on-2, pardon me, with Texas Heat. Now, let's recap a little bit quickly. We saw Texas Heat win these tag titles in a triple threat match at MWE's Survival, right? We saw it was supposed to just be Diamond Heist set to go 2-on-2 with the Texas Heat for the vacant titles. Phantom Punishers made their return, but it wasn't under the former name that we were clearly aware of that they went to previously of the Syndicates of Pain. We had a little bit of a misunderstanding. I'm trying to piece this together right now here too, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Andrew Ray and Bones have decided to join up with Timmy Bean's team, the Phantom Punishers. There's a lot going on. I believe the group is called the Phantom Empire. We saw Hydra make his debut. It didn't work out for the way he expected during his match, but what he did to Kucherov, that's not an understatement. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something massive going on in MWE featuring that group, and I have no idea what the the end goal is. I don't know what the goalpost is. I don't know what he has planned, but he's clearly up to something, and we're gonna have to get more clarification from him soon. We might have to have a sit-down interview. We might have to have some type of conversation, but we gotta figure out what the hell is going on. But ladies and gentlemen, before we can figure out all that, tag team titles on the line. Up next, Diamond Heist set to go 2-on-2 tornado style against the Texas Heat. Timmy Bean sucks ass. I mean, hey, I won't say anything about anybody's. Oh God. I won't say anything about what preferences anybody has here in MWE. The only thing I will confirm is the Diamond Heists are here tonight. Tony the Diamond Garcia in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe some shit talking is going down on the platform known as X between Timmy Beans and Josh. We've seen those two go to war previously, but clearly I think a war is still belonging among them. Gupta to Tony the Diamond Garcia's left. Tony the Diamond Garcia able to pull off a 1v2 to earn him and Gupta a tag title match. And what happens in that tag title match? Gupta cost them the match. He got pinned when he wasn't paying attention. Now, here tonight, Tony the Diamond Garcia, Gupta trying to claim an opportunity at those tag titles again. This time, what they actually expected at the PLE. Oh boy. Some massive shit talking going on between both Josh and Timmy Beans on the platform known as X. We're gonna have to be issuing fines if they decide to get a little bit more personal. But ladies and gentlemen, tag title match here in our co-main event. The champions, Grant Biggs on your right, to the left of him, Keith Moran. I'm neutral. Hey, get involved. Why not? I mean, you just got here, so you can't get fined that much. These two make a couple 6-7 figure checks, so they can afford a couple good fines, but understanding, so I can see why you want to stay out of it. Timmy Beans dropping an interesting fact for us here on X. He hasn't been pinned in 6 months. I'll pay Josh's. He needs the help right now. I mean, at that point, Josh, you might as well start wilding out then if he's willing to pay the fine. But ladies and gentlemen, tag title match up next. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. The coveted tag team titles with a much growing fast division here in MWE. Those tag titles have something to be proven. Let's see, could Texas Heat pull off the dub in their first official title defense here tonight against Tony the Diamond Garcia, Gupta, the Diamond Heist? Could they pull off the heist of a century here on MWE's Heartless? Tornado tag action. First pinfall. No disqualifications. No countouts. We know the rules. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, co-main event here. If you're just now joining us, Gupta, the bigger man in the pink. Tony the Diamond Garcia with the ponytail. The white man. I do not feel racist saying and such. Taking on the Texas Heat. Tony the Diamond Garcia standing in at 5'9", 205 pounds. Gupta closer to 6'3", taking at Keith Moran right here, right now. Can the champs defend successful, or will their flames be put out? What a great way to put it right now. Keith Moran, oh my God, jumps over his tag team partner to deliver a massive super kick to Tony the Diamond Garcia. And look at this, Gupta not taking kindly to that. What do you mean? You see the patch? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I believe there's a dick measuring contest going on X right now between Josh and Timmy Beans. And we know that rivalry has so many deep plots and points to it. But right now, Gupta has a chair right to the back. Proving a point, he does. He does make a few extra zeros. He is in the mob. MWE's enforcer. Timmy Beans, one of the longest reigning NWE champions, right along with Josh. Only a month separates their title reigns. I mean, that's some lore to drop on you, ladies and gentlemen. Two of the most coveted champions, clearly not in favor of each other's personality, but when it comes to action here in MWE, you can't really make friends. You make alliances and you make money. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And what happens is the legacy you leave behind. He didn't lose his title either. Fatal 4-way. Kucherov tapped out. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Biggs up top. But look at this. Tony the Diamond Garcia catches him. But no. Look at this. Massive clothesline from the top rope. And now Gupta looking to make the breakup. But no, Tony the Diamond Garcia able to stay alive himself. And look at this. Going for a massive submission. Grant Biggs, could he tap out? Looking to break it up. Keith Moran not able to do it. Look at this. Tony the Diamond Garcia keeping the match alive, but no. No tap out this time. But look at this massive German suplex. And now Gupta trying to get a chair, get the upper advantage. Grant Biggs. Look at this! Plants him. Oh, but Keith Moran! Look at this! Ladies and gentlemen! No! Keith Moran accidentally caught Grant Biggs. Tony the Diamond Garcia was looking for the big fairy tale ending. And now Gupta. He is looking for one! Look at this, ladies and gentlemen! On the chair! On the chair! And now the referee is down. Ladies and gentlemen, we're losing all control in this co-main event. Into the corner. Tony doing everything he can. Gupta laid out. Referee down on the canvas. And Keith Moran. Gupta laying in wait. Sacrificing his partner. But look at this. Keith Moran. 1, 2. Excuse me. 3. And Tony. Back of the head. Going after Grant Biggs. Plants him down on a chair. Ladies and gentlemen, these weapons are going to cause mass destruction. Tony able to fight the chair out of Keith Moran's hands. Try saying that 3 times fast. Oh, jawbreaker. And now Tony, no, gets caught with a massive choke bomb right on top of the chair. Gupta able to make the save. Look at this. Gupta was looking for something big, but Grant Biggs able to avoid it. Keith Moran up to his feet. And now look at this, breaking it up. Both men switch it. Gupta, though, looking for that power bomb, but able to fight out of it. Hangs Tony Diamond Garcia up off the ropes. And Keith Moran with a massive elbow, or pardon me. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Chair shots to Tony the Diamond Garcia. Could that be it? No. So much action. It's hard to keep up. I apologize. And now on the outside, Grant Biggs running power slam. And Tony getting tossed in the ring. Keith Moran, I think he's looking to put this one to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Keith Moran. Oh my days. Could that be it? What the hell is Grant Biggs doing with the stairs? But it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas Heat able to knock off the Diamond Heist, Tony the Diamond Garcia, and Gupta just weren't able to get it done. And Texas Heat are able to pick up their first title defense. They are scheduled to defend their tag titles at MWE Survival, but who? Who's willing to step up to the plate? Now look at the confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a hell of a show, and we still got our Canadian Championship Open Challenge up next. We got David Wolf. Now, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it, okay? David Wolf, a true, real American, a patriot, as he likes to call himself, comes into the homeland of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Believes he is that guy in terms of being able to do what he feels is necessary. And ladies and gentlemen, he wins the Canadian Championship off of Ty Nasty, issuing a rematch, but then able to once again pull off a very shady win, to say the least. Okay, let's talk about what happened on the first big episode of Heartless. David Wolf took a countout victory against Ty Nasty, and you know what? It happens. That's just the way these things go. You're a champion. You got to do what you have to. But then, ladies and gentlemen, Ty Nasty said, "You know what? I don't think you can beat me. If you give me another opportunity, I can prove I can beat you." And it's confident as David Wolf is. He obliged, and he got baited. He got baited into another opportunity for Ty Nasty to get his hands on that Canadian title. And what does Ty Nasty do? He decides to take a countout victory against David Wolf. And hey, a win is a win. Now they go on to MWE Survival to face off for the Canadian Championship. But we didn't want to play those shenanigans no more. We said, if you guys are going to do this, it needs to be a falls count anywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, this time around, both men decide to finish it in the ring. And David Wolf was able to make Ty Nasty tap out and finally put it to rest. But ladies and gentlemen, David Wolf, confident as ever now, looking to take an opportunity at anybody here in the MWE locker room. I'm curious to see just how this goes. I mean, who could end up accepting the challenge? What the hell is gonna go on there? Who's accepting this open challenge? But ladies and gentlemen, I hear something's going on backstage. What the hell is this? Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get a camera into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, Gupta is attacking his tag team partner, Tony the Diamond Garcia. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Let's get a good camera angle. Why is Gupta going after his tag team partner? What the hell is this all about? Ladies and gentlemen, where the hell is security? Where the hell can we get somebody back there? What the hell is this? Why? Gupta, why? You guys just lost your match for the tag titles. But what the hell is this all about? Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? Why? No, he wouldn't. Sorry, I was about to toss him into that car, but ladies and gentlemen, Tony, I don't even think he knows what's going on. He just went through a hell of a match, and now Gupta. What the hell, ladies and gentlemen? We gotta get some security. What the fuck? What the hell was that all about? Where the hell is security? What the hell? That's the only thing I'll say. What the hell? We were hyping up our main event. We were getting to what we've all been waiting for. This David Wolf Open Challenge Canadian Championship. And this man Gupta decides to go into business for himself and decide to try and bury his tag team partner after a hellacious match. What the hell? Did he not see what happened when you do stupid shit in MWE? You gotta deal with the bear. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep the show going. We got our MWE Canadian Championship match Open Challenge up next. Let's keep the show going. Now, typically in traditional fashion, the Canadian champion will enter second, but he is issuing an open challenge, so he will make his entrance here first. I'm curious to see who will accept the challenge, but ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? I'll keep us updated as things, as we get more details, but we what the hell? My favorite theme, David Wolf. Hey, you may dislike him, you may even hate him, but this man, he has some taste. And ladies and gentlemen, if he has to, he'll just go and steal whatever he needs to. But here tonight, he's issuing an open challenge to anybody in the locker room. Who will answer? Now that's one water bottle down, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not feeling too well, but clearly you wouldn't be able to tell. I'm just wolfing my ass off. I have a very sore throat, but here I am doing MWE because, ladies and gentlemen, we are the best goddamn universe on Twitch TV. There's nobody with the amount of levels of dedication that we have over at MWE. It could be Nathan Cassidy. He made it known that he is after the MWE Canadian Championship. Could it be Nathan Cassidy? Hell, could it be somebody making a debut? Who the hell will answer the open challenge? Ladies and gentlemen, that man's music! This can only be one person! I want to make sure. We need some visual confirmation. We know the music. Is it who we possibly think it is? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Mom's Enforcer. Josh is here in the building. I think he's the man accepting David Wolf's open challenge with the white attire. My God, does this man ever look good? And the pyro. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mom's Enforcer, the workhorse of MWE, is in the building. He is the man who is going to accept David Wolf's Open Canadian Championship Challenge. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not one to pick favorites here in MWE, but I particularly don't like David Wolf's idea now, considering that anybody could have accepted this challenge, and now he has to go toe-to-toe with the Enforcer. Josh is in the building, soaking it in. Ladies and gentlemen, he has his hand taped up. What a main event we have on our hands. Soaking it in. He tried to earn himself an opportunity back at the MWE Championship. Didn't work out the way he wanted with Marcel Ross, but there's nothing to take away from the talent that this man right here brings. Acknowledge the mob, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledge the mob, the real representation here in MWE. He stands for a lot of things. A fighting champion, a workhorse, somebody who's not afraid of a challenge. And when somebody else issued a challenge, he stepped up to the plate. I don't know if David Wolf was expecting this man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a borderline MWE Mafia Mayhem main event. And we are getting this on another episode of Heartless. This is a real goddamn treat, ladies and gentlemen. Our ring announcer, Josh Jordan, making the announcement to the live crowd that this is for the MWE Canadian Championship. Josh looking to get that title in the Mob's hands. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute treat we have. This would be, if he wins, the first time Josh has held the MWE Canadian Championship. A former Twitch champion, former MWE Heavyweight champion. But this would be the first time he could claim the Canadian Championship. But for David Wolf, this is to separate a massive pecking level here in MWE. This is to separate the good. This is to separate from the bad. A true, real American patriot versus the enforcer. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our main event up next. Pardon? Starting off early, Josh working. David Wolf, look at this, back of the spine. Sending him around the ring. No, this would be the first time Josh could claim the Canadian Championship. Former Twitch champion, former heavyweight champion. David Wolf as well, a former MWE champion, and now Canadian champion. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot on the line here. This is David Wolf's first opportunity at getting to see what Josh has in the ring. This is the first time these two have gone toe-to-toe, and like I stated earlier, this is a borderline Mafia Mayhem level main event, and we're getting this here on Heartless. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining us, Canadian Championship on the line. David Wolf in the black. This man, Josh, dripping in the white and gold attire. Not the typical mob attire he would be wearing, but now showing some levels of confidence. He might have lost some with his most recent matches here in MWE, but now going toe-to-toe for the first time ever, Josh looking to do what he can. Trying to get gold back around his waist. Off the ropes, drop down. Up top, David Wolf, massive drop kick. But Josh doesn't seem phased. This is a dream match, ladies and gentlemen, and we're getting this on Heartless. Hangs him up off the top rope. But David Wolf right back up to his feet, and now catches him from an enziguri. David Wolf, as confident as he is, I think his cockiness started to play a factor into this. But right now, showing why he is the Canadian champion, getting the upper advantage on Josh. Josh isn't a pushover. He's willing to do anything it takes. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the longest reigning champions here in MWE. Gaining some momentum, but no! Catches a double boot to the face. And look at this! Massive German suplex. David Wolf starting to get methodical. Haven't seen a Pittsburgh Sunrise this year? No. Josh has not been able to deliver on that Pittsburgh Sunrise. Maybe that has been the difference. Maybe he's gone to that 401 highway too much. Maybe he's been trying to switch lanes just a little bit too much. Maybe he needs to keep it in one gear. Maybe he needs to go back to what works. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. It's not often you see an open challenge like this, and if anybody could step up, clearly Josh was the man who wanted to step up. I mean, I know what I'm saying about David Wolf as a piece of shit person, but at the end of the day, he is undeniable. You can't take away his accomplishments here in MWE. This man, David Wolf, was one 1/3 of the first ever Mafia Mayhem main event. Granted, he came out with the loss, but he wasn't the man that was pinned. This man believes he could still someday become MWE champion, but right now, Canadian championship around his waist, an American coming into the homeland, winning our own title, trying to prove he is the superior country. And now, look at this, off the springboard. Could that be it for Josh? Not enough. Big match feel. Both of these men trying to do what they can, but not trying to slip away. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this before. No! Gets caught! Gets caught! Took too much time, and now Josh created an opportunity for himself. And ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this before. Kicking out the knee. Ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Sunrise! Could that be it? 2! Not enough. Josh created a moment of opportunity for himself, sends David Wolf to the outside, and now taking a quick breath to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we know what the type of antics David Wolf is up to. There is no countouts in this one. Stomp to the midsection, and again, Josh getting him back in the ring. Only way you can win this is pinfall submission in the ring. Josh looking to fly. I don't particularly like this idea. He's not known to go flying, but ladies and gentlemen, I think he's looking for something big. Look at this! What the white cloth around the wrist. A massive move for the top rope, and now, ladies and gentlemen, looking to put this one away, maybe. Could he be looking to take him onto that 401? Look at his switch lanes! Ladies and gentlemen, could that be it? Could we have a new champion? Could we have a new champion? 2, 3! Ladies and gentlemen, we got a new Canadian champion! Ladies and gentlemen, Josh is your new MWE Canadian champion. Accepting David Wolf's open challenge. And the confidence was too much on David Wolf. Josh is once again a champion here in MWE.